have an I too. I want to start this video off by saying Ahava. Yeah. So, this video, this is actually my second time doing this video, but I just wanted to represent myself. So, I want to share about, this video is basically about faith and the feminine energy, the new earth, and how to actually heal this, or just get rid of this idea of this angry black woman, right? So, to use myself as an example and to be transparent in this video, I want to say that I was once that angry, bitter, resentful, selfish, ill-mannered, quick-tempered female. And all of those things came as a result of me pretty much being afraid of myself, being afraid of being afraid of standing fully in my power, which is my feminine energy. I've been in relationships where, whether a male or female, where I would say ended due to maybe a lack of honesty, a lot of lies, a lack of communication. And those relationships, I felt, at the end of them, I felt betrayed, I felt lied to, I felt a lot of different ways. And I was very angry, again, bitter, resentful, not only towards those people, but mainly towards myself, because after that I began to not trust myself and not trust the decisions that I would make. I began to be very closed off because I wasn't trusting myself and I wasn't moving in a place of faith. So I just want to also make this point that any female that has, well, I would say I have felt and I still feel the pain of every female, every brown woman, every black woman who has ever felt like she was misused, she was abused, she was mistreated, and she now resents, whether it's males, whether it's other females, very suspicious. I feel that because I've been through that. And with that said, I want to say that when we are not operating within our feminine energy, those things happen. That's a reality. So I'm not here to say that, oh, black women are only angry and they're bitter and blah blah blah. There's a reason for that, though. It's important to not only acknowledge those feelings. It's not only important to acknowledge and be okay with those things, but it's also important to acknowledge who we actually are angry with, who we actually are bitter towards, who we actually are resentful towards. It's ourselves. Because we no longer trust who we are, and we no longer trust the power that we have. In those different relationships that ended with me feeling all these different ways, I got to a point where I no longer wanted to point the finger and blame anyone, because I was able to sit down and realize that for some reason in those relationships, I can say that I was being lied to, but I also was lying to myself, because I wasn't fully present, and I wasn't fully comfortable, or I didn't feel safe enough within my own self to be myself, to fully be who I am, to really embody that love that I actually know that I am, which is very outstanding, very patient, very kind, very giving. I'm very sensitive. I can get very close to people. To see people genuinely happy, genuinely being who they actually are, being true to their desires, their natural desires that makes me feel good. And one thing is very interesting, because one thing that my mother, my father, different people, different males in my family used to warn me about, used to be very careful. Be very careful, don't be naive. Be wise in your decisions, pretty much, with who you share yourself with who you give yourself to. And I did not listen, so I ended up making decisions that, because of me not listening to myself and using leverment and really trusting again in my intuition, the intuitive, affectionate, I love saying that, intuitive, affectionate nature. I put myself in a lot of positions because I didn't trust myself and I did not listen. I put myself in a lot of positions that had me, or resulted in me, feeling these different ways: angry, bitter, sad, disappointed. So yes, I know that the true nature of a female, when we're really in our feminine energy, we want to give, we want to love, we want to give of ourselves. We want to actually be a safe haven for anyone who we encounter, just like the earth is. That's what we are. And we want to be that innately, like we can't help it, though, because we've placed ourselves in certain positions and we grew to no longer trust ourselves. It results in us being fully out of that space that we no longer trust. Which, fear is the opposite. You can't be fearful and have faith still. Because faith is the evidence of things unseen. And the feminine energy is something that is intangible. It is intangible. And this new earth that we speak about so often, that we love to think or speak about, is mainly, it's a space where there's only space for the feminine to feel and to be fully comfortable and safe within herself, within myself, within ourselves. There's only a space for that. And it starts in the heart. It starts with us forgiving ourselves first and foremost for not trusting ourselves. And then also growing within, fully trusting who we are. And standing in our power and not being afraid of that. Because I will often question myself, like, in this meditation, why was I so afraid to just tell these people, like, hey, I'm here for you. You don't have to lie to me. Whatever you're doing, I'm not going to be upset. I want you to be free. I want you to be happy. I want you to grow and be your greatest self. I want to help you and support you in that. I'm not going to take it personally, the decisions that you make. Like, why was I so afraid to do that? Though, again, that's the fear. I wasn't trusting in that for some reason. I wouldn't be able to tell you right now in this video. Though it was a lack of trust in myself, it was fear. It was a lack of faith. So, this video is pretty much just to remind myself and to remind any female who is watching this right now that, yes, it's okay if you have felt disappointed, if you have felt like different relationships maybe failed, they didn't go how you thought it was. That's okay. Though it's also okay, it's not okay to be bitter and resentful and towards yourself, and to also exert that towards other people and to be suspicious towards them, because they didn't really do anything wrong. To be honest, they didn't do anything wrong. We just placed ourselves in certain positions because we did not listen to ourselves. And that could go different ways. I can say I didn't listen to myself because maybe this person showed me certain things that I didn't like and I still stayed there, blah, blah, blah. Or I can say I didn't listen to myself and I didn't trust myself enough to communicate how I really felt to this person. And when I say to communicate how I really felt, how I truly felt was, you don't have to lie to me. You are safe with me. You don't have to hide yourself from me. That's how I really felt. But because I didn't feel maybe strong enough, I wasn't courageous enough, I was second guessing myself, I wasn't able to properly communicate at all. So that's why I was left angry, resentful, feeling bitter, feeling just worthless. And it wasn't because of anyone else. It was all because of me. So moving forward, going forward into this new space, into this new earth, I made it a point to remove all of those things from me, from my heart, from my mind, and to heal that aspect of myself, because it's safe. Naturally, I want to do that. I want to be that for anyone, male or female. And it's not fair to anyone. It's not fair to myself to not trust that. It's like a smack in the face to myself, a smack in the face to the Most High, because that's how I'm created. That's what I'm here for, you know. So again, this new earth, healing this angry black woman, getting rid of this stigma of black women being angry and not wanting to submit, and black women not being submissive. That's all foolishness. It's not true. Naturally, that's what we do. That's who we are. We've just been afraid to do it for several different reasons, and the main reason being fear. Well, the main thing is like a lack of faith. Okay, so yeah, before my camera cuts off again, I just want to quickly say that I just want to share this reminder to myself and to every beautiful brown female watching this right now, that it is safe for you to love again. It's safe for you to be in your feminine energy again. It's safe for you to be nurturing again. We don't have to fight anymore. We don't have to be at war with ourselves anymore. We don't have to be at war with other females. We don't have to be at war with other males. We don't have to fight anymore, because this new earth, this space that we are transitioning into now, is only a space for us to be safe in ourselves. And it's a space where we are safe. It's a space where we are safe to trust ourselves. It's a secure space. It's just a space of love, which is where we naturally dwell anyway. So that's pretty much the point in what I wanted to share in this video when it comes to faith and feminine energy in this new earth. We must, to heal this angry black woman, to get away from that narrative, is to face ourselves and to be courageous and to be okay with being ourselves. So yeah, that's all I want to say. I also want to say that if this resonates with you, I recommend that you request a copy of my book, which is not it's not a new book. It's something that I wrote maybe 2 years ago, 2018, according to the Babylon Gregorian calendar, when I was in the space of really wanting to facilitate my own growth and healing, and get myself to this space that I'm speaking of right now. So I feel like, well, I know it's a very great tool for anyone who's citing this, who feels that she wants to facilitate her own growth. And this version that I'm releasing now is just revised. I took some things out, I added some things in just to make it more centered around everything that I'm saying in this video. So if you want to request a copy, you can send me an email, you can message me on Instagram, Facebook, all of those different things. All of those links are also in the description. I accept Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, also even Venmo, whichever one works best for you. And it's any amount that you feel comfortable sharing, I'm open to that as well. I just really hope that you take something from these videos and that you also receive what's shared in the book. And it's called Never Knew Love, just in case you like to, if you would like to read the description even more, you can find the link in my description again for my blog, Ahava Unplugged. So before this video gets too long and this camera cuts off, I have faith in myself, I have faith in you. I know that